This project is going to put into practice some of the shading that we've been talking about. So we're going to start making a slice of pie today, and we will begin by making a straight line and a diagonal line, then a curve on the back side. So one that's straight, one that's diagonal, one that's curved, then straight lines that come down. This is my pie shape. Then here I'm going to add the bottom. This line was a little too long, so I'm going to not worry about it. I'm going to put a little line next to the back side of my pie, and I'm also going to put a line right here at the bottom. This will be the crust, and then a wavy line right there. Then I'm going to make a sort of like a dollop of whipped cream. So I'm going to make a curl C shape that just kind of goes like that on each side. Next I'm going to make a big oval around my pie. This is the plate shape that it's sitting on. And then I'm going to make a line at the back of my page for the edge of the table. So this is the table that it's sitting on, and this at the back would be the wall. I'm doing all of the drawing with a white crayon, and then I'm going to switch to chalk pastels, which will cover up most of my crayon lines. You won't see them in the end. The first thing I'm going to color is my pie's top. So this section of triangle, I'm going to use an orange chalk pastel. And I'm coloring with it lightly. Chalk pastel will make a really big mess if you push down too hard. It's going to get very dusty. So just color lightly. It's okay if the brown paper shows through. We're going to smudge this to make it smooth. Once I finish coloring, I will wrap my finger in a tissue and do a little smudging, blending. I'm going to use the same color for this part of the pie, but I'm going to use a brown over top of it so that it's a darker value than the this section of the pie. So this is sort of like when we shaded our cube. While you're doing this project, you might have to shake it every now and then to get the dust off so that it doesn't mess up the rest of your paper. You don't really want to brush over your picture because it will smear and mess up where you put your colors. The last thing I'm going to do is color in the crust, so I'm using my brown. You can also use your tissue to wipe away any extra dust that you don't need. Because white chalk pastel is going to smear a lot when it comes into contact with all the chalk around it, instead of using white chalk pastel, we're going to color the plate with a white crayon. Next we're going to do the bottom part, the table. So when I'm doing a big area, I use the side of my chalk to color. That way I don't put too much color on there too quickly. So I am not trying to make a big dust storm on my table. I don't want my table to be too messy. You also have to be careful when you're using chalk pastels and you are standing on the edge of your table or sitting. You don't want to brush the chalk into your lap. So be careful. Color on the side. Try not to get too much dust all over the place. Okay, then I'm going to create a little little bit of a shadow at the back of the plate and behind the piece of pie. So the light is coming from this direction. That's why the top is lighter than everything else. So I want my shadow over here, and I'm going to also put a little shadow next to the plate. So I'm going to use, I don't have a darker purple, but I have a dark blue, so I'm going to use that and just sort of go right around the edge of the plate. So that's the shadow of the plate. Maybe I'll put a little purple on there too. And then for the shadow behind the piece of pie, I'm going to just make a little bit of black on here. Your black chalk is not really going to want to color very much on your white, so you really don't need a dark shadow there, just a little bit. And I'm going to smooth the shadow of the plate. I only want to do that in a C shape. I don't want to smooth it all out into the table. Then the last part is going to be making the back wall, and I'll also put a little bit of a shadow. That's going to be the shadow that the table is creating against the wall. So again, I'm just going sideways, not trying to make a huge mess. I'm coming in with my dark blue to make that shadow. And then I don't really want this white line there, so I'm going to use my purple and just cover it up a little.